can kill him.
On the night of May 16, 1997, HBO released Todd McFarlane's Spawn. It was a time when adult animation was largely unexplored in American television, but Spawn changed it all. This groundbreaking piece of work turned out to be a turning point as far as animated shows were concerned. The comics are renowned as the best-selling independent comics ever and have already made significant waves in the industry. Within its first year, Spawn had attracted Hollywood's attention, leading to film adaptation talks. So in this video, we will honor the show by exploring the 21 major characters in Todd McFarlane's Spawn animated series. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Albert Simmons. Al Simmons, once a top-tier assassin and soldier, went through hell in his life, and quite literally so. Highly skilled, he reached the pinnacle of his career when he thwarted an assassination attempt on the president, which led to his promotion within the CIA's secret levels. However, Simmons began questioning the morality of the government's actions, and he ended up drawing unwanted attention from higher-ups. His superior, Jason Wynn, felt threatened by Simmons' knowledge and orchestrated his murder through Chapel, a friend and colleague of Simmons. This betrayal led to Simmons' death in a fiery attack, after which his soul ended up in hell due to his past killings of innocents during his CIA tenure. In hell, Simmons struck a deal with the demonic entity Malja. Desperate to see his wife, Wanda Fitzgerald, again, he agreed to sell his soul. This pact resurrected him 5 years later as Spawn, a disoriented and powerful hellspawn with no memory of his past deeds. Upon regaining his memories, he discovered Wanda had married his best friend, Terry Fitzgerald, and they had a child, Cyan. In one of the arcs, Simmons pretended to be his friend in an attempt to sleep with his wife, which is twisted in every sense of the word. Anyway, Spawn's early days were all about violent confrontations with street criminals and an incident where he killed a pedophile, Billy Kincaid. This drew the attention of detectives Sam Burke and Twitch Williams. He also found himself in a conflict with Angela, an angel who hunted hellspawns for sport. Spawn established dominance in Rat City, a haven for the homeless, where he met Ogliostro, a knowledgeable vagrant. He narrowly survived an encounter with Overkill, a cyborg mob enforcer, and faced off against Angela again. His life, or afterlife for that matter, went through another turning point when he confronted the anti-Spawn, who was none other than Jason Wynn. Yep, Simon's former boss. Since then, Spawn has been part of innumerable Image comic stories and is now considered to be the most powerful hero in the entire list of Image comics. Spawn's journey hasn't just been about personal growth. It's reflected in his ever-increasing power levels. From clashes with enemies like Cygor and Malja, Spawn flourished and gained confidence and control over cosmic forces. As Spawn grows stronger, so do his adversaries. Gone are the days of facing foes like the Violator alone. Now he confronts indestructible plague spawns and armies of angels, all poised to undo his achievements. Despite these challenges, Spawn has consistently managed to repair the damage inflicted by his enemies. Spawn's powers stem from necroplasm, a potent substance that grants him immense strength and resilience. Initially termed psychoplasm, it's now known as the familiar green necroplasm. Each hellspawn receives 9999 units of this substance, with depletion resulting in a return to hell. His primary weapon, however, is his symbiotic suit, Letha of the 7th House of K. This suit, connected to his nervous system, can form chains and spikes and animate his cape for attack. It feeds on necroplasm and can also draw energy from evil, certain animals, and the city itself. Violator Clown. The Violator, Spawn's arch-nemesis, is someone who resonates chaos and cruelty. As a demonic entity, he often masquerades as a grotesque clown in the human world. He delights in torment and remains disdainful of humanity. He believes demons are superior, which is the very view that fuels his relationship with Spawn. Throughout the series, Violator has shown a penchant for manipulation and violence. He joined forces with Blood to control Jim Downing and confront confronted his former master, Malja. During Al Simmons' return, Violator, stuck in his clown form, teamed up with Simmons for power, but he secretly retained his shape-shifting abilities. His schemes have been far-reaching, so much so that he even played a role in Wanda's death. It was revealed in issues 294 and 295 that Violator actually designed the symbiotic suits for all Hellspawns, including Spawns, a fact originally credited to Malja. Despite being killed and reanimated multiple times, Violator's superbly evil nature and character remain undiminished. He's shown the ability to possess humans, often turning them into violent clowns or using them to attack Spawn. However, Violator's ambitions don't stop at the defeat of Spawn. He aspires to lead Hell's armies and has demonstrated remarkable powers. His strength, agility, and resilience are matched by his cunning and tactical skills. He's tricked Spawn into empowering him, increasing his abilities to possess people and morph them into demonic forms. Now, Violator can split into two entities, his clown persona and his demonic form, and even create clones of himself. After absorbing necroplasmic energy, he's gained the ability to generate energy that can cause some serious damage. His evolution into a more formidable adversary is evident and reflects a dangerous blend of physical might and manipulative intelligence. John Leguizamo's portrayal of the Violator in the film adaptation adds another layer to the character. Here, Violator is cruder and more attention-seeking, and often resorts to vulgar humor, lacking social grace.
How did this happen to me? Bitch, you made a deal with Malja.
Malja. By now, I am sure you understand that Malja is one of the most menacing figures in the Spawn universe. He came into existence over a millennium ago and rose to power through betrayal and the murder of his demonic father. As the ruler of Hell's Eighth Circle, he masterminded the creation of the Hellspawn and was, of course, aided by the Violator. Despite being a formidable force, Malja's power paled in comparison to entities like Mammon and Satan, yet he commanded their service, at least superficially. His grand ambition was to amass an army of Hellspawn with the intent to unleash the apocalypse, breach heaven's gates, and transform Earth into a hellish realm. Spawn, originally one of his creations, became a relentless obstacle and ultimately the cause of Malja's downfall. However, this wasn't the end of Malja. He resurfaced and took control of the Freak's body. This comeback was dramatic. In Spawn issue 199, Clown confronts the Freak, only to be shocked when the Freak, undaunted by having his arms ripped off, reveals himself as Malja. This terrifies Violator, especially since Malja has been stripped of his powers and faced numerous obstacles set by the Lords of Hell to prevent his return. Feeling betrayed, especially by Violator, who had aligned with his rival Mammon, Malja vowed vengeance. He ordered Violator to spread the word of his return, sowing fear in Hell. Despite the destruction of the Freak's body by Jim Downing, Malja's presence lingered, so it's safe to say that his presence is persistent. Throughout the series, including various spin-offs like Curse of the Spawn, Malja is a reoccurring figure. He battled the angel Abdiel, appeared in the crossover Angela and Glory, and narrated Nordic's tale to Vandalizer. In Spawn the Dark Ages, he turns Lord Covenant into a Hellspawn, further cementing his role as a master manipulator. Visually, Malja is depicted as a large demon, often with white hair and green or red eyes, and his skin color varies between pure white and red in different portrayals. At his core, Malja is the epitome of evil in the Spawn universe. His manipulation and deceit knows no bounds, as seen when he tricked Al Simmons into a deal that returned him to Earth, but as a Hellspawn destined to lead Hell's army against heaven. His character embodies the ruthless ambition and sadistic nature of a true demonic overlord.
I'm your husband.
You're lying to me!
Wanda Blake. Wanda Blake, previously married to Albert Simmons, later found love again with Terry Fitzgerald. Together, they welcomed their daughter Cyan into the world. In her professional life as a lawyer, Wanda took on a pro bono case representing Kyle Watson. Her involvement deepened when she received insider information from Max Cavallo suggesting Watson was framed by the police. This revelation propelled her to delve deeper, seeking the true culprit behind the crime. Wanda's personal life took a distressing shape when Cyan was kidnapped. The relief of Cyan's safe return was overshadowed by a bewildering discovery. You see, Cyan had in her possession the old wedding ring Wanda shared with Al. This incident rekindled Wanda's memories of Al, stirring a mix of fear and nostalgia. Haunted by Al's fate, Wanda became increasingly protective of Terry, urging him to stick to safer desk-bound duties. Her concern was not just for his safety, but also driven by the anxiety of possibly reliving the pain of losing a loved one.
God damn it.
Terry Fitzgerald. While working at the CIA, Terry Fitzgerald stumbled upon a trail of internal corruption linked to his boss, Jason Wynn. Driven by a sense of justice, Terry delved deeper into this web of deceit. As he edged closer to uncovering Wynn's secrets, Wynn's henchmen, Chapel, Leon, and Merrick, were sent to thwart Terry's investigations. But Al Simmons, Terry's old friend and now the Spawn, intervened. During a tense raid in a warehouse, Al allowed Terry to glimpse into his past. This psychic insight revealed Terry's genuine care for Al and his innocence in the conspiracy that led to Al's death. Armed with this newfound understanding and crucial evidence, now holding the key to exposing Wynn's corrupt machinations. Overkill. He was an assassin hired by mob boss Tony Twist to eliminate Spawn, who had disrupted Twist's operations. As the story progresses, we learn that Tony is shaken by the loss of his men and decides to bring in Overkill, his ace in the hole. This decision is made amidst an ongoing investigation by detectives Sam Burke and Twitch Williams into the murders of Tony's men. Overkill is first seen in Tony's office, where he receives his mission to hunt down Spawn. Overkill declares he'll keep the heart of his target for dinner. The story then moves to the alleys, where Overkill, seeking information, confronts a homeless man and learns of Spawn's connection to Rat City. He leaves a bloodied message on a wall using the man's arm. Spawn, witnessing this message from atop a church, soon faces the bad guy in a violent confrontation. Overkill, with his brute strength, attacks Spawn. Following their battle, Overkill retreats to a facility for repairs, but is pursued by Spawn, who forcefully makes his way through the facility and ultimately defeats Overkill. The aftermath of this encounter is seen in a parking garage, where a frustrated Tony Twist demands his men to locate Overkill. However, the dismembered remains of Overkill fall out of Tony's car. Spawn asserts his dominance and confronts Twist, and warns him to steer clear of the alleys, claiming them as his territory.
Move away from the child. Now.
Billy Kincaid. In Todd McFarlane's Spawn, Billy Kincaid is a deeply unsettling antagonist in the first season. Voiced by Ronnie Cox, who also portrays his father, Senator Scott McMillan, Billy's character is disturbingly complex. He is basically a pedophile and serial killer, a secret his father, a senator, has desperately kept hidden. Billy's troubled past, exasperated by the absence of his father, is hinted at being a major reason in his descent into darkness. His first impression would be that of a regular guy who drives an ice cream truck in a New York suburb and interacts with children. However, this is just a facade that masks his true sinister intentions. When Billy abducted a child and drove off to his house, he was unaware that the Violator was observing him. The Violator, posing as an admirer, lures Billy to an address, but one thing leads to another, and poor Cyan Fitzgerald gets kidnapped. Naturally, this triggers a series of events, which ultimately leads to a confrontation with Spawn. After what can be called a dramatic police chase, Spawn manages to track down Billy. As Billy clings to Cyan, Spawn intervenes, using his cape to restrain him. Billy, in a moment of desperation, pleads for salvation. Faced with a moral dilemma, Spawn decides to spare him. However, Clown steps in and executes Billy. Jess Chapel. Known for his large build and skull-painted face, Chapel is typically seen in military attire, but otherwise you can find him opting for a leather jacket, gloves, boots, and blue jeans. In the series, Chapel initially comes across as a stoic mercenary, seemingly devoid of emotion. However, a scene in the first season reveals deeper layers of his character. During an intimate encounter with a stripper, Chapel experiences war flashback, and he immediately starts shedding tears and voicing apologies for the lives he has taken. So we know that he is a tormented soul beneath his hardened exterior. He has had a troubled past, including a stint in a Joliet, Illinois prison. Known for his smoking habit and womanizing ways, Chapel is also skilled in unconventional warfare tactics like torture. However, his life changes when his superior, Jason Wynn, orders him to kill his best friend, Al Simmons, suspecting him of espionage. Throughout the first season, Chapel's journey is marked by violence and internal conflict. In the second season, Chapel's character evolves, showing signs of regret and a gradual unraveling of his psyche. Chapel attempts suicide and begins to lose his grip on reality. This downward spiral continues in the third season, where detectives Sam and Twitch encounter a mentally unstable Chapel. He becomes crucial to their investigation and provides insights into the mysterious cloaked figure, Spawn.
I've taken out the last two hell spawns, and I want this one!
Angela. Although Angela appeared as a minor villain in Todd McFarlane's Spawn, her intriguing backstory is definitely something you should know. Angela serves Heaven as a bounty hunter and kills hell spawns for sport, which means that she sometimes comes into scuffles with Spawn. Their first encounter is a battle where Angela, despite her superior experience, is defeated by Spawn. This becomes the prime cause between a complex relationship between them. Later, during Angela's trial in Heaven, Spawn unexpectedly aids her and even testifies in her favor. This, coupled with an incident in a pocket dimension where Spawn inadvertently erases Angela's license to harm him, leads to the unexpected development of a romantic connection between them. Angela's journey tragically ends in Spawn issue 100, during a battle with Malja. Her origins are rather mystical, born from the fusion of 5 mortal souls, each of whom had died prematurely while heroically saving their loved ones. Angela is more of an anti-hero. These souls, once marked by the specter of death, dirges, were taken to Heaven and contributed to Angela's creation. Angela's guidance in Heaven came from her mentor, Catherine, and later from divine instruction. She was taught the significance of embracing a warrior spirit against darkness and the depth of emotions that women, seen as emotional vessels, experience. Her past exploits include the killing of medieval Spawn in 16th century England. Adhering to the rules of engagement, she skillfully lured the disoriented Hellspawn and executed him with her dimensional lance. You could say that her character in the Spawn universe is a blend of celestial warrior and complex protagonist, while her story is interlaced with themes of revenge, redemption, and unexpected alliances.
Dead. I am. You've got some balls coming here, hero.
Jason Wynn. Jason Wynn, depicted as the calculating head of the CIA in Todd McFarlane's Spawn, is the primary architect behind Al Simmons' death, which, as we know, led to Simmons' transformation into Spawn. Naturally, Jason's character is deeply intertwined with the darker machinations of the series. Wynn is portrayed as a man driven by ambition, who seeks to augment his power through political moves. He strategically influences Senator McMillan to pursue the presidency, leveraging his protection of McMillan's son Billy, a notorious child molester and pedophile, as a bargaining chip. In his quest for control, Wynn collaborates with characters like Chapel and Tony Twist and devises schemes to eliminate Spawn, who poses a threat to his plans. These collaborations further shed light on Wynn's ruthlessness and willingness to use any means necessary to maintain his grip on power. His operations take a hit when Terry Fitzgerald, one of Wynn's top employees, begins to unravel his illegal arms dealings. In a desperate bid to silence Fitzgerald, Wynn sends Chapel on a mission to eliminate him. However, this plan is foiled by Spawn. Undeterred, Wynn doubles down and deploys Leon and Merrick to stop Fitzgerald as he closes in on a warehouse. This effort too fails, as Fitzgerald successfully uncovers damning evidence of Wynn's illicit activities, specifically his secret weapon sales to terrorists for personal profit.
Listen,
We all want to go home, my friend. But it's war.
Cogliostro. Cogliostro's story is essentially that of sin and redemption. Originally known as Cain, the infamous first murderer from biblical accounts, he slays his brother Abel and faces divine punishment. His journey into the depths of hell lead him to strike a bargain with Malja, who transforms him into a hellspawn. However, the weight of his actions and the cost of this power lead Cogliostro to renounce his hellspawn status. He then steps into the role of a mentor and guides figures like medieval Spawn and later Al Simmons and imparts knowledge about the endless war between heaven and hell. As he nears death, he seeks Spawn's help to acquire the Box of Eden, only to reveal his deceptive intentions. This act of betrayal strips Al of his powers and allows Cogliostro to usurp Malbolgia's throne. Returning to Earth, Cogliostro abandons his earlier ambition of constructing a tower to challenge heaven. In the animated series, Cogliostro's portrayal differs significantly from his comic counterpart. Voiced by Richard Dysart, he is depicted as a knight from the age of chivalry who becomes a hellspawn known as the Black Knight. His service to Malbolgia conflicts with his sense of humor, which leads him to use black magic to free himself and become the Merlin of Arthurian legend. His quest for redemption focuses on saving Al Simmons, who becomes his pupil by the end of Spawn 3: The Ultimate Battle.
I tell you, Twitch, I hate loose ends. Piss me off.
Sam Burke. Sam Burke serves as a NYPD detective alongside his partner Twitch Williams. Their journey in the show begins with the investigation of the Stevens murder in an alley, a case that gradually draws them into the Bowery alleyways. The duo then gets involved with Spawn when they investigate the murder of a fellow officer by a deranged Reverend. The dying officer's last words, "Red Cape," was the beginning of their pursuit to uncover the identity of Spawn. Sam is known for his tough, no-nonsense demeanor. He's a detective who doesn't shy away from the harsher side of law enforcement and often walks the fine line between right and wrong. Despite facing accusations of police brutality, no charges have ever stuck to him. Sam is driven by a strong sense of justice and is deeply committed to his work, especially in a police force he views as riddled with corruption. Beneath his rough exterior, Sam harbors a compassionate heart, particularly towards those in need. He's passionate about seeing justice served, even if it means bending the rules. His protective nature is most evident in his relationship with Twitch, whom he fiercely guards against any harm, be it from criminals or their own colleagues. Twitch's dedication and integrity in a corrupt system inspire Sam, which further reinforces their bond as partners in the quest for truth and justice in the dark corners of New York City.
That's gotta be your lucky bullet, man.
It's in a safe place.
Twitch Williams. In the show, Twitch pieced together the mystery surrounding Billy Kincaid. Twitch's breakthrough came from scrutinizing recorded phone conversations, which led to the discovery of secret discussions between Senator McMillan and Wynne, as recorded by Stevens. These conversations implicate McMillan in connection with Kincaid. Stevens, who had intended to reveal this scandal to the Washington Post, met his end in an alley, a victim of the very story he sought to expose. While Twitch's nature is generally reserved and unassuming, his dedication to his role as a detective is profound, arguably even surpassing that of his partner Sam. Twitch's commitment to his job is unwavering, despite the pervasive corruption in the police department and a city that largely mistrusts law enforcement. His intelligence, while exceptional, sometimes clashes with the harsh realities of the streets, a domain where Sam excels with his street smarts. Nevertheless, Twitch's resolve as a principled officer never wavers. Twitch's abilities extend beyond his investigative skills. A brilliant mathematician with a special talent for trigonometry, he has honed his skills to become an outstanding marksman. His proficiency with twin pistols is nearly unparalleled and compensates for his smaller stature with remarkable precision and efficiency. Twitch's calm demeanor and exceptional shooting skills have seen him face and overcome superhuman adversaries, including the cyborg Overkill from the Spawn comics.
I'm a soldier, like you. We have
Lisa Wu. While much of Lisa Wu's history is unknown, it suggested that she harbors a deep-seated vendetta against the Hellspawns. Over the centuries, her mission from the heavens has been to eliminate evil, a task so extensive that it even once involved targeting Genghis Khan. Lisa Wu first appeared as an ace reporter who diligently investigated a series of murders in Rat City. Her journalistic pursuits soon intersected with detectives Sam Burke and Twitch Williams, as she aided them in uncovering information about the culprits. Her involvement also extended to helping Wanda Blake understand the complex and dark world surrounding her connection with the Hellspawn. However, it is later revealed that she is not just a reporter, but a bounty hunter tasked with eliminating Hellspawn.
It will enable us to thrive as the greatest country in the world.
Scott McMillan. Senator Scott McMillan is a deeply conflicted and morally ambiguous character. As the father of the notorious child murderer Billy Kincaid, McMillan finds himself trapped in a web of secrecy and guilt. His failure to be present for Billy during his early years weighs heavily on him, which drives his desperate attempts to shield his son's horrific crimes from public scrutiny. McMillan's political ambitions intertwine with his personal turmoil. With the assistance of Jason Wynn, he manages to both keep Billy's dark secret and receive substantial backing for his presidential campaign. This alliance with Wynn leads to a series of clandestine operations and cover-ups. The plot thickens when it's discovered that Stevens, the former technical officer, has recorded a conversation between McMillan and Wynn discussing Billy. Wynn arranges for mob hitmen to silence Stevens and potential whistleblowers, but their plans are thwarted by Spawn. McMillan's entanglement in these dark dealings is further complicated when Wynn insists that he must run for president, using threats against his family, including Billy, to coerce him. Despite his reluctance, McMillan succumbs to Wynn's demands, announcing his candidacy. As detectives Sam and Twitch delve into these murders, they stumble upon McMillan's presidential bid. In the end, when Billy Kincaid's deeds are exposed, McMillan's campaign and reputation begin to crumble. However, the series leaves McMillan's fate uncertain.
Send you his liver and maybe a couple of fingers.
Antonio Twistelli. Antonio Twistelli was a man of volatile temper and impulsive reactions, especially under pressure. He becomes aware of Spawn's threat after learning of his involvement in Overkill's death and responds with both fear and aggression. Twist's journey in the series begins with a phone conversation with Jason Wynn, discussing the mysterious deaths of 3 mobsters at the hands of Spawn. Tony suspects Wynn's hand in these killings due to their precision, but Wynn denies any involvement. Despite this, he instructs Tony to keep him informed about Spawn's movements. In an attempt to assert his control, Twist dispatches more mobsters to the alleys and aims to intimidate the local homeless population for information. However, this plan backfires when Spawn intervenes. Twist's frustration peaks when he learns of his men's defeat. In response, he summons Overkill to eliminate the elusive Spawn. Later, Twist discovers the remains of Overkill in his car. In a direct confrontation, Spawn warns Twist to stay out of the alleys. Despite Twist's attempt to retaliate, Spawn vanishes into the night, leaving Twist in a state of anger and disbelief. Amidst these events, Twist meets with a man named Castellano in a junkyard, planning to send a message of apology to Rome for Overkill's failure. However, this gesture is met with brutal retaliation, as Twist receives Castellano's severed head from Wynn. As the story progresses, Wynn pressures Twist to locate the man in the red cloak and orders Chapel to eliminate Spawn upon discovery. However, Twist's plans are further disrupted when Billy Kincaid kidnaps Cyan, which prompts him to prepare for an escape from the city to evade Wynn's wrath. Spawn intercepts Twist, dangles him from a high-rise building, and extracts information about Cyan's abduction. The series also leaves Twist's fate ambiguous, with hints that Spawn killed him. Lily. Lily had a deep-seated vengeance. She was a vampire with a singular mission to eliminate Hellspawn, particularly Al Simmons. Her vendetta was rooted in a super-traumatic past life, where she suffered horrifically at the hands of a Hellspawn. One night, Lily found herself at a bus stop, proceeding to the subway. She is interrupted by a thug, but she is rescued by an unidentified man. When he deceitfully directs his supposed security guards to take care of her, Lily leads them into an alley where she brutally ends ends their lives. This episode places Lily at the center of a crime scene, and she draws attention to her ruthless methods. Her path later takes her to a nightclub, where she lures a young man into the restroom under the pretense of making love, only to kill him and drink his blood. However, she was interrupted by Jade, who was also looking for similar prey. After a brief confrontation, Jade departs, leaving Lily to continue what she was doing. Lily's relentless search for Spawn leads her to a church. There, she feigns innocence to lure Spawn. In a climactic encounter, she nearly succeeds in her mission to kill Spawn, only to be thwarted by the dawn's sunlight, which ultimately proves to be her undoing. Leon. Leon was a seasoned assassin with a history of high-risk contracts. He worked alongside Merrick, his partner in crime, on various assignments. Their partnership was tested during a particularly challenging mission against the Russian mob, where Merrick was captured and endured severe mistreatment. In the series, Leon is roped into a conspiracy designed by Jason Wynn. Wynn, concerned about Terry Fitzgerald getting too close to uncovering his illicit arms dealings, hires Leon, Merrick, and a member of the Russian mob to eliminate Terry. Leon, known for his calm and focused nature during missions, arrives at the building to trap Terry, with Merrick providing support as his lookout. The mission spirals into chaos as Terry, while hacking into a computer to uncover Wynn's secrets, detects Leon and the Russian mobster's approach and retaliates. The struggle escalates to the rooftop, where Terry is nearly eliminated by the assassins. However, Spawn intervenes, stopping Leon and the mobster in their attack. The episode ends with Leon and the Russian mobster's presumed deaths as the rooftop is engulfed in flames.
Do it. You don't have the balls, desk jockey. Merrick
was also a seasoned assassin in the Spawn series, with a dark past thanks to an encounter with the Russian mob. This experience, where she was left behind and suffered severe abuse, shapes her role as the strategic planner in operations for Jason Wynn. In the series, Merrick is often seen orchestrating high-stakes missions. When Wynn decides to monitor Terry Fitzgerald, he instructs Merrick to coordinate with Leon and a member of the Russian mob to handle the situation. As the eyes and ears of the operation, Merrick ensures that Terry is trapped in the building. Merrick's ruthlessness is on full display when she coldly kills a police officer to eliminate any potential witnesses. She also attempts to track Terry through security cameras, but is hindered when Spawn intervenes, sabotaging the cameras to disrupt her surveillance. Despite these setbacks, Merrick remains undeterred. She then plans to target Wanda Blake to draw out Terry. Her methods are merciless, as evidenced by her instruction to eliminate everyone in the Fitzgerald house should Terry return. In a climactic encounter, Merrick faces Spawn directly. Despite her skills as an assassin, she is no match for the supernatural might of Spawn. The fight leaves her severely injured.
Have to do it, man.
Drug Reverend. In Season 2 of Todd McFarlane's Spawn, the Drug Reverend was a drug lord masquerading under the guise of the church. Voiced by Michael McShane, he is the primary antagonist in the episode Colors of Blood. The Drug Reverend first appears on the streets with his accomplice Earl and recruits children for his drug operations. Detectives Sam and Twitch confront and reprimand the Reverend for his actions. As the episode progresses, the Reverend's intent becomes evident. He is seen distributing drugs among the destitute, which is witnessed by a homeless man. When the homeless man is spotted, the Reverend's gang members, Donnie and Styx, pursue and ultimately murder him. The death of the homeless man triggers a ripple of grief and outrage among the community. As they mourn and bury their fallen friend, they discuss the need for a guardian angel to protect them. Spawn, observing from a distance, is initially reluctant to intervene, still wrestling with his own moral code. However, the situation escalates when Donnie murders a homeless woman for defying him. This ignites Spawn's fury, and he feels the need for decisive action. He confronts and incapacitates the Reverend's followers and leaves the Reverend himself severely injured. Later, the Reverend is handed over to the homeless community, who drag him into the sewers, where they deliver their own form of justice. Mammon. Lord Mammon is one of the Forgotten Ones, exiled to Hell, where he eventually rises to become a ruler of Hell's Ninth Circle. Now, he did not appear in the show, but I thought a list of characters from the Spawn universe would be incomplete without Mammon. So anyway, following the downfall of Malja, Mammon seizes power and positions himself as a dominant force in Hell, though he later loses this status. Mammon's role extends beyond mere rulership. He actively searches for potential Hellspawn candidates, manipulating the bloodlines of Al and Wanda to engineer the ultimate Hellspawn who would reign beside him on Earth. With great intellect and manipulative skills, Mammon prefers a strategy of influence over direct confrontation, which contrasts with the more violently inclined Violator. He is adept at bargaining with humans for their souls and wields a charm few can resist. He is intricately involved in the events leading to Al Simmons' transformation into Spawn, driven by his ambition to claim the throne of creation and reshape the universe in his image. Mammon authority over Malja, who pales in comparison to Mammon's power. Despite his status, Mammon remains subordinate to the true ruler of Hell, Satan, which reflects a complex hierarchy in the infernal realms. His defeat comes at the hands of Spawn, with Nyx sealing him away in Spawn issue 184. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.